Samsung just dropped their thinnest fold phone ever, but they killed the S Pen to do it. Is this a genius move or a total deal breaker? Today I'm unboxing the Z Fold 7 and answering all the hottest questions like, is the crease finally gone? How does it compare to the iPhone 16 Pro Max? And yes, I'll show you how thick that camera bump really is. I'll also compare it to some other flagships side by side, do the classic Hinge test, and give you my thoughts and opinions as a first-time Galaxy Fold user. I'm Captain Awesome, this is Geekception. Consider liking and subscribing, and let's get into it. And starting with the unboxing here, we can see the Fold 7, but a nice Easter egg I'm sure many of you did not know is when you actually look at the top here, you can actually see what color the phone is by this color right here, which I thought is really, really interesting. And, you know, going on to the back here, we have the fact that this is made with soy ink. So for people who care about the environment and all that, it's nice to see Samsung emphasize that here. So let's just quickly get into the box here. And the first comment about this box is just how minimal it is, which from the shape, I'm sure you can already tell that this has no charger in the box, which is a bummer, especially for the price you're going to be getting this phone for. But that bummer will quickly go away when you just see how beautiful this phone is here. But I'm just going to put this down for a quick second while I check all of the accessories that come in the box here. So I'm just going to pop this out and let's look at what you get here. And I think one of the first disappointments, which I'm not jumping the gun, I think we'll get to that very soon, is that there is no longer an S Pen here with the Z Fold 7. But first, let's look at that. We get all of the guides, the warranty card, your original lock guide, because it's locked here for some reason in Southeast Asia. And we also get the SIM tray removal tool, which is the Samsung one that we've always gotten. I think this has been the design for a while, as far as I can remember. And the last thing here is the USB-C to USB-C cable, which is always nice that this at least is included in the box, because again, that's all you're getting here. There's no more charger, there's no more accessories, there is no more S Pen. Can you believe that? No more S Pen in the box or supported, which is the downside of just how thin this phone is. And how thin are we talking about? Well, look at that. Look at how thin that is. This is absurd. This is insane. So because of this thinness now, we have lost the stylus pen, but you gain the ability for this to look just so beautiful. So moment of truth. Let me just remove the paper on the screen here. So I'm just going to remove that off like this. Oh, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And just gonna close it. And let's take out the one in the front screen as well. Oh, amazing. And yeah, there you go. That is the Z Fold 7 right here. And of course, you can see just how thin it is here, and which leads us into, like, let's just do a quick tour. So on the right side here, you get the volume buttons and you get the power button, which also acts as a combo fingerprint scanner as well. And when you go onto the left side here, you have that hinge, which Samsung calls the Flex Armor hinge, which has definitely been improved. And as you can see, it's so much slimmer when shot compared to the last one there. And going on to the back there, you get the new 200 megapixel camera, which is the same camera that is present on the S25 Ultra, as you can see here. So just dimensions, you can see it's also very similar in size right there. We're coming to that comparison later, so don't go anywhere. And just opening up the phone here, you can see just if there is a crease or not, which we'll get to the dedicated crease section soon. But just looking at it here and running my fingers over it, I can almost not feel anything at all. It looks like there's a crease, and of course there is, because this closes and shuts, but my camera is having a lot of difficulty focusing there. So let me just lock the autofocus. And yeah, it looks like it's there, and it is there, but is not as present. In fact, I cannot feel it when I run my finger over it, which is insane. But yes, that is the first thing here. Another thing to note here is also the fact that the camera is now not the under display camera that it was on the Z Fold 6, I believe. Here it's now visible, as you can see it right there. And of course, when I turn on the phone, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. But that is pretty much how it is. And I think going on to the bottom here, I can now release my autofocus. And going on to the bottom of the device here, we can find the speaker, the USB-C port, as well as those microphone jacks there. Going on to the top here, and we can find the SIM card tray, as well as another speaker, grill, and microphone ports as well. And I think that's pretty much it for all the ports here on the Z Fold 7. Now, I'm going to quickly turn it on and enter into the phone, do some preliminary setup, and give you some of my thoughts and first impressions, as well as comparing it to some of the other devices that I have here. And when you're setting up the device, you'll get a prompt here to turn on auto blocker. I suggest you turn it off because auto blocker will disable you from being able to install your own apps and all of that, which is not great. So I suggest you turn off auto blocker here. You also get a tip screen on how to take care of your phone right here, which I suggest you pause and read, because this is really, really important. Taking care of this phone, especially because it is of that fold. And also there's a warning here telling you about how this phone is not dust resistant, even though it's water resistant, but it's not dust resistant, and salt water or alcohol will definitely damage it, so be careful there. Also, there's a protective film on the inside of this phone. Make sure you don't take it off, as that is factory installed. I believe you will need to take it to the Samsung store to be able to change it. And when you are closing the phone, always make sure that there's nothing in between the crease, of course, so that you don't damage the display there. And here's what stood out to me as I started using this phone is just how light it is. Now, I know Samsung, tells you about the weight and all of that. And yes, on a spec sheet, it looks like, it's going to be light. But yes, actually using it, I cannot believe like this is actually lighter than, even my iPhone 16 Pro Max that I have right here. Like this phone feels lighter than this phone. Like what universe are we living in? This is like absolutely insane right here. Another thing I also noticed is just like how nice it feels to hold this in the hand. Like finally, I've not really been a huge fan of like this foldables, I would say, especially the fold. I love the flip so much, but the fold type kind of foldables here, I do not like them. But this one, it just feels much more comfortable to hold in the hand and use like this. And if let's say I go into my web browser here and I open my web browser, I have ChatGPT open there, you can see just how large it is. And let me just open my ChatGPT app because I've set it up here. You can see just how much I can fit on the screen right here. I even have my tabs, so I'm using it at its maximum small resolution here. So I have all of my chat on the right here, and I have all of my previous chats on the left there. And it's crazy how much you can fit on the screen here. If I go into the Play Store right there as well, you can just see how much you can see on the screen. And let's say in an unsupported app like the X or Twitter, sadly, it doesn't support a tablet style app, but I set up this, I would say, aspect ratio thing, so I can still use it like that. And I was actually quite surprised and shocked. Again, this is my first impressions of Instagram, because when I open it, it actually has like a tablet interface you can see there, which is insane because I would have thought that it did not have like an optimized interface, but you can see here it actually does have like, is it as optimized as I would like? Like, I think this is just too big for the post here. But not bad, man, not bad at all. And like I promised to show you the Hinge, and if you can see here with content on the screen, I can barely see the Hinge right here. Can you see that? I can barely see the screen, the Hinge. And if I, run my fingers over it like this, I think I only feel the Hinge after using it now for about, I would say, an hour, just testing it so that I have proper first impressions. I can only feel the Hinge, I would say, just in this tiny spot in the middle. But on the bottom and at the top there, I feel nothing. And this is crazy because, again, this is a foldable. Like, look at that. It's like a phone you can fold like that, and you know, you use it, you put it in your pocket, and I think this is just insane. And if I just open it there, I think I have Kotatsu, I have Saga, which is like a comic I'm reading, as you can see right there. Insane just how much you can read here, and you know, you just zoom in like that. Like, isn't that just like crazy, where you are able to have this big of a content on the screen right here? And what I'm particularly excited about is the manga. So I read a lot of manga currently right now. I'm obsessed with Shangri-La Frontier, and in fact I've almost caught up to the current episode. And as you can see there, manga on this looks absolutely fantastic. Like, look at that. I cannot believe this is something that I can literally just shut close like that, and boom, like it's a normal phone, and I open it and it's like all the manga and everything there. Like, that to me is insane. I just cannot understate it enough. But yeah, enough of my fangirling here. Just looking at this phone, and I charged it because, you know, out of the box it was already like losing charge. And one thing I noticed was that I did not feel any heat on the back here, because I know the Snapdragon 8 Elite that is on this phone can be a toasty boy, but I did not feel any heat, and I held it and I used it throughout the 1 hour that I charged it, so that I can have like a proper opinion to tell you, so I'm not talking out of my, you know, behind. But yeah, it was quite shocking that like this phone is so thin, but the heat profile, at least from my literal first time of charging it, is like really, really cool to the touch, which is crazy. And also, I had a worry that, you know, I'm using it and I'm holding it like this. I felt that the screen here might get warm, or there might be some heat transferring here, but none of that. It felt very, very cool to the touch still. And I would say I do not know what magic they used to like put here, but it is crazy. What did disturb me a little bit though is this not under the punch hole camera here. As I recall, it used to be under display camera that you could not see. But let's say I'm reading something like, let's say a manga, for example, which I've been doing a lot of since I started using this. You can see it kind of interacts with the interface there, which is not the best. You can see it actually cuts off some of the text that I'm reading up top there, which is not the best again. But I think it's just the sacrifice you make for having what I would believe is a better camera now compared to the previous one. I think a lot of people had a complaint about the camera there. So I'm glad that here, you know, the quality would be better. But also on the other end of it is like, it does interfere with so many things though. So if I open my A-Find, for example, this is where I plan and like I do all of my scripting and everything. Yeah, it does, you know, definitely get in the way, but you know, some apps block it off, some apps don't block it up. But yeah, that was also something else that I didn't really like. But yeah, speaking of the hinge here, and the hinge here is fantastic. Like, I've not had any issues with this hinge. I'm still trying to get used to how to close it, because, you know, when I have it open like this, my instinct is to press on the screen to close it. Like you see, so I worry if this will be a problem over the long run of me just pressing the screen to close that hinge right there. But so far, I don't think that should be a problem. I think that should be okay. But again, look at this. Look at this marvel of technology right here. I think this is insane just looking at it. But yes, I really, really like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm feeling. And I can just say that from my first impressions, when I first went to the first time Samsung showed me this Fold 7, and right now the stock of this phone has just continually risen for me. And having all the phones on the table, and the first thing you can see here is just how much wobble there is for this phone, especially when you close it. You can see it right there. It just wobbles a lot. So this is not a phone that you are putting with the camera bump on the table. This phone is a phone you're probably putting face down. And speaking of face down, I have some of the phones that I have in my repertoire here, starting with its cousin, its nephew, the S25 Ultra. And I think it's insane. Like, look at that. Like, it's almost, if not thinner than the S25 Ultra there. Definitely thinner than it when I open up the phone here in its unfolded mode. Like, look at just, that is crazy. That is insane. Like, that is insane just how like thin that is right there for this phone, especially when you just consider like that this has the full Snapdragon 8 Elite and all of that processor. And of course, the camera here is still massive. Same thing, I think, as the one on the S25 Ultra that I have here. But footprint wise, it's not that much different. If I, open up the screen there, obviously the S25 Ultra is wider than it. So if I just put it on the S25 Ultra there, you can see it juts out quite a bit on the S25 Ultra. So it's definitely a wider phone. Let me just unlock them so that you're able to get a better feel of the interface. So it's definitely a wider phone on the S25 Ultra, but it's not that much wider. It's a bit taller as well. But this is, I think, the first time that I'm looking at this and I'm like, you know what? I could rock this. I could rock this as my daily driver, especially when you unfold it and the screen is massive. So that's the S25 Ultra. Next is the iPhone 16 Pro Max, which it's crazy that this phone is lighter than the iPhone 16 Pro Max. This is insane. So it's also a little bit shorter than the 16 Pro Max and is not as wide as the 16 Pro Max. You can see right here, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot. I can tell you that. My food is almost here. Pisangoreng gang for life, okay? But you can see it's it's not that much wider than the iPhone 16 Pro Max. You can see there, but yeah, I think this phone, and especially let's go into the unfolded mode right here. You can see just how much thinner it is than the iPhone 16 Pro Max. That's insane. That is crazy. That is actually insane. So yeah, it's crazy just how much, and you can see just the camera bump there. It definitely has a bit more bump than on the iPhone 16 Pro Max right there. So that's definitely that. I'm just now going to blow through the rest. This is the Galaxy A56. And of course, this phone is a mid-range phone, and unfolded, it's, I think, thicker than the Galaxy A56, but it's not by much. And of course, when you unfold it here, it's just, there's no competition there. And finally, I do not have the Flip 8 yet, but this is the Flip 6. And if I put both of them in their folded mode right there, it's definitely thinner than the Flip 6 right here. And unfolded, of course, the Flip 6 does become a 6.7 inch display here, which is almost the same display size as the Galaxy Z Fold 7 here. So it's not very, very similar, but at the Z Fold 7, sorry, the Z Flip 7 is definitely much bigger than this one right now. So that would be an interesting comparison when I get it. But as you can see, these are some of the phones here, and this is how the Galaxy Z Fold 7 stacks up against all of them. Let me know, would you sacrifice this, your normal phone form factor to be able to get a phone like this where you can just unfold it and get like this massive screen? Would you do that? Is that something that you would consider? Let me know in the comments down there below. And there you have it. Those are my unboxing and first impression thoughts of the Galaxy Z Fold 7 right here. I still cannot believe this is how thin this device is. And I'm going to be doing my camera tests. I'm going to be comparing it to some of the other flagships. And again, I'm open to a lot of your comments, plus points if you are a member here, or if you leave a super thanks so I can prioritize that. And I'll say this is a foldable that I think I might actually be switching to full time outside of my review window. It's looking like a winner here for me. But enough of my yapping. What do you think of this Z Fold 7 here? Have you bought it? Have you not bought it? Do you have it in your hands right now and you're watching, or are you just watching because you really like what I do here, which I absolutely love? You've made it all the way to the end of the video. So I hope you're subscribed so that you can get more of these wonderful videos in the future. But yes, that has been it from me. I've been your captain of awesome. This is Geekception. Text me when you get home so I know you got home safe, because tapirs are there. They do not look large, but they're really, really large. So yes, I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to stay awesome. Bye. And thanks for making it all the way to the end of the video. I'm actually recording this on the Z Fold 7 right now. I'm actually using the back screen so I can see myself, which is really, really nice. I only remember using that on my Z Flip series, and it's interesting to use it on the Z Fold series here. But yeah, I faffed about a bit on this video. I should have released it way earlier, but I've just been so tired, especially with all the unpacked. I traveled last week to Ipoh, which is like another city here in Malaysia, and I still have like a lot of stuff to do. I have like 6 more videos from unpacked that I still have to get to, but you know, we'll get to them eventually. Just want to appreciate you for making it all the way here. I really appreciate you here, and more importantly, please tell me what you're excited about. As for me, you know, I'm definitely excited about this phone. It's a very exciting phone for me right now. But yeah, please tell me what you're excited about. And other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Leave a hashtag long fold, so I know you made it to the end of the video. But yes, I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to stay yourself. All right, bye.